What's up, fellow YouTubers? So, I got a little bit of super glue on my hinge right here. It still opens, but the Zippo doesn't make that classic sound that it makes. But needless to say, it still works. So, Sydney Watson has made another video entitled "Toxic Femininity is Real and It's Gross. Horrible Female Behavior We Ignore." Now, there were a lot of talking points to this video. We'll get into that like we normally do. Alright. You may notice that I have my my guitar out. Why the fuck would you have your guitar out? Well, because what's the video response without some mean guitar playing, YouTube? That's good pipe tobacco. Okay, we get it, Cobra. You're really good at guitar.
I mean, if you want proof of toxic femininity, just go on Twitter. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to my channel.
Yes. Now, could you imagine a male making a video talking about the bad behavior patterns of women? You'd never see it. Could you imagine YouTube going on YouTube and seeing men talking about all the toxic things that females do that contribute to the toxic behavior overall in society? You'd never see it because women would attack that person for being sexist. Okay, it's tuned to spooky tuning, so some of the songs you play in standard might not work unless you find a different way to play Now he's just showing off how fast he can play. Did I totally get that on camera, leaning back as far as I did? Yeah, that's actually, yeah, I did. The strings are tuned differently. Kind of like a drop E minor kind of. TNT and spooky tuning. God, Cobra, we get it. You can play guitar really good. I was doing a video response and then I kind of got lost in the music. They just kind of...
Before we dive in, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. So, yay. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have come into contact with females in your life, or how many of you are female. I don't know. And I'm not really here to assume either, because that makes an ass of you and me. But as
I've definitely come into contact with females. I mean, you play guitar like that, you're gonna come into contact with females. Anyways,
female who's been a female since my days in the womb, except for a brief period there where I identified as an elephant and then as an emo kid, I can tell you now that women are full of negative behaviors and traits.
well, it's not just women, Sydney, it's also men. People are full of negative behavior. People are full of negative traits. I feel like that's just a sad reality of human culture.
So today we're going to take a look at toxic femininity. This is like trying to say anemone, except it's femininity. Yeah. Now, in the last number of years, terms like toxic masculinity and toxic femininity have gained traction. Toxic masculinity has shown up everywhere. You hear it in the news, on television shows, on radio shows, in pop culture, from your girlfriend as she's throwing your stuff into the yard. And for the most part, the term has come to refer to any and all bad male behavior, from hitting your girlfriend.
Yeah, you shouldn't hit your girlfriend unless she's hitting you. Yeah, that's one of the things I've said, like, you know, in my rule of book, at least my own personal stance on that issue, I would never hit a woman unless she had a gun to my head. That's just real talk. It's just part of the responsibilities of being, as they say, the bigger man. Is that how the expression goes? Yeah, be the bigger man.
to eating meat and destroying the planet, it...
Oh yeah, because meat is apparently associated with men, because men like to eat steaks and drink beer and with onions and potatoes and... Real talk though, why are we gender washing people's personal choice in food? Because that's ridiculous, YouTube. We are gender washing food. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Like, it's ridiculous. And quite honestly, could you imagine, though, for a split second, if we said pink was a female's color? Women would say the same thing. They'd be like, why are you trying to gender wash colors? I'm just saying, like... Because, you know, men and their bacon cheeseburgers and their beers and onion rings and their ribs and...
covers everything and puts it all on the same playing field, whether it's...
Hey, guess what? Ladies love to eat meat too, believe that. Chicks love barbecue, believe that. I'm just saying, YouTube. It's kind of like when these feminazis go off about men in their trucks, and I'm like, honey, drive down to Wyoming, you'll see plenty of chicks driving trucks. Yeah.
it's justified or not. It's like the feminist motto today. When in doubt, blame a man. What gets
more attention is negativity. Thus, if a woman is fighting for women to have more rights, and she's doing so peacefully, she gets overshadowed by the obnoxious cunts that love to scream in megaphones and cause a big scene. So rather than discuss the point maturely and with reason, it just ends up being a bunch of women screaming in protest angrily. And it's like, no one's going to take you seriously when you're being emotional. I hate to say it, ladies, but, you know. Real talk, though, could you imagine if men were marching down the street protesting male rape, taking Viagra, holding up signs that said all women are just bitches and all they want your money? Like, and then they had the news coverage, so why are you men out here with your boners to the wind? We are protesting male rape. That shit would never fly, dude. Those men would be locked up for indecent exposure. Like, you can just picture it, right? This angry feminazi screaming, fuck the patriarchy, holding up some fucking sign that says all men are assholes. And then she's got women's lib written across her bare tits. And some dude's just standing there trying to listen to her speech, but he can't hear a fucking word she's saying because this bitch done made him deaf by screaming into the fucking megaphone. So I was looking down going, oh fuck my ears, oh hey, boobs. Excuse me, you fucking pig, my eyes are up here, that's why I'm doing this protest. Like, you kind of defeat the purpose if you're bitching about men being pigs, but you're doing the protest naked. Like, that's like saying, I don't want to get electrocuted, but I'm going to stick a fork in the outlet anyway, just to see what happens. And I get that some women are saying, well, we shouldn't be ashamed of our bodies, etc., etc. I get that. But I also feel like women shouldn't have to protest naked to make their voices be heard. That's just my personal take. They deserve to have their voices heard just like the rest of us. That's my personal take.
Less attention, on the other hand, is any and all discussion of toxic femininity and toxic female behaviors. In fact, for the most part, females behaving badly is either applauded as empowering or brushed off as an isolated incident and ignored completely.
Oh yes, if women are sexist towards men, it's seen as brave and empowering. But if men are sexist towards women, they're seen as assholes and pieces of shit. Remember that, because yeah. Ooh-wee. We've unearthed Pandora's box with this one.
I'm talking about any bad female behavior, whether that be women sexually abusing men, women using men as basically walking wallets, or standing out in the middle of the street in front of the White House just screeching incoherently.
The patriarchy, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, white supremacy.
Ew. Then you see that one feminazi cow cunt with her obnoxious red hair and these big, thick black glasses. Okay, instead of sitting there saying, fuck this, fuck that, let's talk solutions here, you know? Because no one's going to take you seriously when you're sitting there flipping the camera off like an overgrown child saying, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. That's not a conversation about changing women's rights. It's just you screaming obscenities into a camera. And I think this is what happens when women like that are allowed to call themselves feminists. It gives the movement a bad name. Now, real talk for a second. What if there was a corrupt female president in the White House and men everywhere were screaming, fuck her, fuck her, fuck her? Do you think that shit would fly? Oh, no. No, 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 no. Women everywhere would be saying, you're a sexist, you just don't want a woman to be president. You know, like, and this is real talk. Like, if you kick a dude in the balls, people laugh at that shit. You kick a woman in the vagina, people go, what the fuck's your problem, asshole?
I bet she's fun at parties. Overall, it appears that the justification of this behavior comes from the fact that women are just viewed more favorably by society.
Women are viewed more favorably by society. Well, ain't that the fucking truth? Real talk though, men are being raised and told you're not allowed to hit women, but women are being raised to think all men are just pigs. Wait, what? Which means that right from that get-go, you're already creating the start to that mess, which is men and women are raised differently. And to be fair, YouTube, women are expected to be their prettiest, men are expected to be their toughest. Now, if you saw my KINGCOBRAJFS video where I was at Walmart just gabbling away on the camera, they're like, you know. I mean, to add to that, I heard this song yesterday, like, or the other day, you know, it was just some chick singing about how men want torture, don't say I didn't warn you, or some stupid shit like that, and I just wanted to puke. I'm like, no, women think men want bullshit head games and drama. No, the fuck they don't. Men think women want assholes. No, the fuck they don't. Both men and women want someone they can communicate with, without it being a guessing game or what the fuck is that person saying or thinking. They want that physical attraction. They want that mental attraction, you know. Looks are not everything. Looks are half of it. Looks are half of it. If you have a physical attraction but no mental attraction, it'll fizzle out. If you have a mental attraction but no physical attraction, it'll fizzle out. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You get a nice healthy balance of both of them. But this goes so much deeper. Let's continue playing the video.
According to Pew Research from 2008, both men and women thought women are better people than men, more compassionate, honest, intelligent, outgoing, and creative. And the fact is, we see this play out everywhere. In the prison system, where women are given shorter sentences and are less likely to be convicted. In family court, where mothers are often awarded primary custody of children. In the home, where women are just as likely to be aggressors in intimate partner violence, but are the least likely to be arrested, and so on and so forth. And we don't act like this and let these things play out because women are actually better people, because that's not a thing, but rather because we view men negatively simply for being men. So many men presently are just thinking, wow, you haven't met my ex, have you? Don't touch me!
Frankly, if women were seen as negative because of the toxic things women did, women would say that's sexist. You would. You would. You'd fucking hate it. And it'd never be okay to treat a woman like that. Oh, no, no, no. But treat a man like that, and nobody says shit. You get these talk show panels of nothing but women just bad-mouthing men for 30 minutes straight. Some jack-off is sitting next to his wife going, why the fuck am I here? I could be watching football right now. And then he's sitting there like, oh, but it'll make the wife happy, to make her feel empowered for a change. If women want to feel empowered, let's stop slut-shaming each other. Let's stop, criticizing the way your bodies look, the way other women's bodies look. If women want to wear makeup, that's their choice. If they don't want to, that's their choice. Women should stop attacking each other for wearing makeup. That's stupid. I mean, the idea that, oh, you're setting a bad example for women by wearing it is so old-fashioned. I view it as empowerment. You get to choose whether or not you wear it. And that's how a lot of women view it. But ironically enough, women talk about supporting each other in a sisterhood, but it's fake as fuck. The best frenemy crap. Like, what is that? Like, as a guy, you cannot make me understand it. If you don't like somebody, why are you friends with them? Because right after the jack-off with the seminar with his wife sitting next to him, they get done. She wants to go to the fucking mall and go do a little bit of shopping. So he's like, well, there goes the rest of my afternoon, this poor bastard. Sitting there for 35 plus minutes listening to a bunch of old hags bitch about what pigs men are. With his wife sitting next to him, clapping along with it, going, woo! Real talk though, ladies, could you imagine a show with a bunch of guys just sitting around working on cars, drinking beer, and just cussing out women? You'd fucking hate it. You'd feel attacked. You'd be like, oh, that's mean and sexist. Right. You'd never see that. It'd never get aired. But then that poor schlup is sitting at the mall with his wife while she's doing her shopping, and then it happens. It fucking happens. Without a doubt, it happens. She runs into her best frenemy, whose husband bought her a Mercedes, took her out to the fanciest restaurant, gives her the best sex, they have more money. So rather than just be like, you know what? Rather than be grateful that she has a man who puts up with her crap and treats her right, she's going to spend the whole goddamn car ride home bitching about how much she fucking hates her friend, even though she gave her a hug when she saw her. Oh, hey, so-and-so, how are you? And, of course, her friend's just dying to brag about her new Mercedes, by golly, showing off that big-ass diamond ring. Like, girl, you're not going to believe what my other half did for me, kind of shit. And it's just like, yeah. And that's just the thing of it. A lot of women don't appreciate the crap that men do for them. They don't. It's not good enough. If you didn't spend enough fucking money, oh, they gotta turn their nose up at it. Like, okay, cool. You know, men constantly bitch because women are constantly asking for more money. Well, then, here's a solution to that. Let's give women equal pay. Mm-hmm. And let's also make it so women's clothes are more affordable, because this is bullshit. The fact that women's haircuts and women's clothing are more expensive than men's. Oh yeah, there's sexism in our society that just goes that deep. And people don't pay attention to it because women are told you have to look your prettiest. So who cares? You know, that's... Women are so distracted by trying to look their prettiest that they don't see, wait a minute, the fuck is this? Oh. And you know, you're sitting there, that poor jackoff is just sitting in the car listening to his wife go off about, why can't we have nice things like her? Why can't you be more like her husband? And that's what kicks a guy in the balls the hardest. Knowing that he's busting his ass to provide for his woman. She's busting her ass to provide. You're both are trying your hardest. But now it's all about how you can't provide enough. You can't provide extra. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, really? You know what I'm saying? Chicks like that don't realize there are a lot of women that would love to have a boyfriend that tried as hard as theirs. You know, that's the fucking truth of it. You know, and I've seen that side of the argument on both sides. I've seen men complain about their women and women complain about their men. And it's just like, yeah, well, at least you have somebody, so what the fuck are you complaining about? Real talk, like... The women are so catty to each other, it's ridiculous.
Feminism has only made this worse by making it some grave injustice.
Okay, no. Feminazism has made it worse. Feminism is women fighting for gender equality without being a cunt about it. You know, if you're fighting for female equality, but you're doing so in a way that's not bitchy or loud and overly obnoxious and just makes you look completely fucking psycho, as you're screaming into the megaphone, it's all men's fault. Poor women. What's exactly strong woman about that? Victimizing yourself as a woman, blaming men for everything. There's nothing empowering about that. You know, feminism is about female empowerment. It's about gender equality and realizing that men put up with a bunch of crap too. Like anything violent, aggressive, competitive, or otherwise bad with our society is automatically associated with men because they're animals.
Justice that results in screeching when you criticize or say anything negative about women. And then they promptly jump on Twitter to complain about how sexist everyone is. I'm serious. If you want to see toxic femininity...
You want a mind blower for the evening, YouTube? Sexism does not discriminate because it affects both sexes. Think about that for a second.
Out in full force, just log on to twitter.com. Don't say I didn't warn you. And honestly, feminists aren't the only people who behave negatively and toxically online. Cause like, hackers and other bad people do as well. Which is why today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark is not what that was. Using a VPN like Surfshark is one of the best and safest ways to browse the internet. Surfshark can be used on as many devices as you like, and grants you access to a range of blocked websites and applications, including 15, and the new season is out in Australia. Use code in Netflix, and the new season is out in Australia. Use code Sydney to get 83% off and an additional month free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk when you try it out. So click the link in the description box, and then I guess your ex won't key your car. I don't know. Now, as a rule, toxic femininity is pretty hard to pin down because we like to point to female traits as positive, such as being emotional or empathetic or
passionate.
compassionate, and so on. And when we hear about competitiveness, aggressiveness, and violence, we tend to associate those things with men.
You heard it here first, folks. Traits like compassion, empathy, emotions, these are positive traits associated with women and negative traits associated with men. But traits like violence, aggression, aggravation, anger, competitiveness, just, overall aggressiveness, it's associated with the male gender. That's so true, it hurts.
Despite the fact that these qualities have been well documented in women to much higher degrees in particular situations. So I guess we're gonna start here with competitiveness, aggressiveness, and violence. For starters, it's been widely documented that men just play better with others. Yeah, they do. Research tells us that men unequivocally exhibit a higher threshold of tolerance for genetically unrelated same-sex individuals than females do. Females are more likely to ostracize other females, and they react more negatively when their friends are more successful than them. Overall, women just don't play nice with each other.
Yes, women do not play nice with each other. That is a well-known fact. This is why women sometimes prefer having guy friends, because they're easier to get along with. The fact that women are so catty to each other, it's ridiculous. Excuse me. But the age-old stereotype that women take forever to get ready. Honey, we're gonna be late for dinner with my parents. What's taking so long? And she says, I'll be down in a minute. But that's her way of saying, I still got 40 more minutes. Because secretly, your wife thinks that your mother is going to judge her for the way she dresses. Because nothing's too good for her little prince. Just like the way your fucking asshole of a father judges your husband because nothing's too good for his princess. You know that age-old spew. You go to some restaurant to meet up with your husband's mother and father, and you as the wife, you know what I'm saying? You want to look good, but you're subconscious, because if you dress too nicely and look too good, then you're worried that his mother will think you're trying to be the hotter chick, or be the hotter looking chick, or whatever. But if you don't dress good enough, she'll think you're trashy and cheap. So you're sitting there going, what the fuck am I gonna wear? So 45 to 50 minutes later, you have just enough time to get to the fucking restaurant and sit down. Oh hey, and here comes the most awkward dinner of your life. Here comes your father and mother-in-law to greet their son. They look at you and, oh hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. How you doing? That's good. Like, oh look, there's your husband's creepy ass dad staring at you like, damn, I wish my wife still looked that good. But trying to play it off like he ain't checking you out. But you notice and don't say anything like, oh, that's just cringe. Oh, but your mother-in-law noticed, and oh, she gave you the nastiest look when your husband wasn't looking. I bet she did. And in the back of her mind, she's thinking, ooh, I don't know, that's,
And we're passive-aggressive and ultra-competitive. Which is honestly probably why we spend so much time calling each other sluts and picking on each other's physical appearances.
Okay, ladies talk about how hard it is to be a woman, and truth be told, it can't be easy. The way Mother Nature played you guys on that menstrual cycle BS, giving women the gift / curse of being able to bear children. Some bullshit, man. So yeah, some of that's out of your control completely. But the slut shaming, the body shaming, you know, being catty towards each other, trying to steal each other's boyfriends, you know, slut shaming yourself, slut shaming other women, talking negatively about your body, talking negatively about other women's bodies, crap like that. If women didn't do that kind of crap, they would find that being a woman would be so much easier if women just supported each other instead of this, oh hi, how's it going, love your dress, and then behind their back, oh my god, that dress was so tacky, what a fucking slut. She thinks she's all that just because she found herself a boyfriend. Well, fuck her. Honey, it sounds like you're jealous that she has a boyfriend and you don't. Jealousy's not a good look. Real talk though, the time you spend being jealous of somebody, that's time you could be fixing whatever it is you're jealous of the other person of having. Like if you're jealous that someone has a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, you know, instead of being jealous of that person, get one for yourself. You know?
Yeah, cause we're awful.
If it's an issue, I can get on out of here. It is an issue. Go and grab a jacket.
This is, of course, the reason why we like our showers so hot. Because it reminds us of hell. Despite the fact that this area is actually dominated by feminist literature and how horrible men are, we are coming to understand the subtle and covert ways that women...
This is the problem with feminazis, or third wave feminism, if you will. Is it infiltrates the feminist movement as a whole, and like I said, you see women who are fighting for women to have more rights, and then you have women who are just screaming into a megaphone with their tits hanging out. I mean, the irony is not lost. Like I said, you're sitting there bitching about what pigs men are. You're holding up picket signs that say men are pigs, and then you got feminist written across your tits. Not even covering up your nipples, just some guy's gonna get deaf in the ear because you're screaming into a megaphone about what an oppressive piece of shit his gender is. And then, while he's trying to cover his ears to protect them from getting hearing loss, he looks down, oh, boobs. And then she screams into her megaphone, my ears are up here, you oppressive, disgusting pig, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, like I said, women shouldn't have to do naked or nude protests or topless protests to make their voices heard. You know, everyone's got a story to tell, everyone's got something to say. It's all about finding that inner goddess and just letting it roar. Like a female lion.
Viciously bully one another. Girls get other kids to gang up on one or more peers as a way of exerting control. Sometimes they entice other children to act out aggressively and sit back to watch the show. They form groups that pick and choose members at random and exclude others with no real reason. They form alliances with other social groups in an effort to jockey for popularity and positions of power among peers. Man, reading that reminds me that being a teenage girl is exactly like the Hunger Games. Help me, I'm a girl! Haha, just kidding, here's a knife to your face! Yeah, it is in fact exactly like the Hunger Games, except the odds are just never in your favor. You know when you're a guy and you have female friends that tell you that they don't want to be friends with other women? This is why. Men just have it way easier. You know, you'd say something that...
Oh, don't give me that horse shit. I'm sorry, no offense to Sydney Watson, but that's horse crap. I'm so tired of women victimizing themselves with this, men have it easier. Right. Because if men made that comment about women, we'd never hear the end of it. Men have it easier, right? Because if a woman gets raped, she has to worry about getting slut-shamed. If a man gets raped, he has to worry about being told, well, how is it rape? It's all you men want is sex. So really, if you think about it, no gender has it easier, no gender has it harder. I'm just saying, YouTube, this men have it easier shtick. I'm so sick of hearing it. Real talk though, next time you're on your period, ladies, and someone tells you, it's just menstrual cramps, suck it up, you pussy, and then you want to tell me men have it easier. I'm not trying to be a dick, I'm just saying, like, when women are in pain or when women need protected, men jump to the rescue. The damsel in distress, right? But when a man needs rescued, he's left to do it on his own because tough it up, you pussy. But that being said, fellas, could you imagine for 1 second you bleed out your asshole once a month, you're horny as fuck, you want to get some pussy, but you can't get hard until the bleeding stops. All you want to do is sit on the couch and drink beer and watch Home Improvement. Watch Home Improvement and bitch about what other assholes there are. All those other guys out there are fucking assholes and you hate them. That would be the male equivalent of having a period, so there you go. Not to mention your balls would fucking hurt. You'd be sitting there going, what kind of fucking bullshit is this? The problem with the dating scene is that men and women, instead of focusing on what makes them similar, it's what makes us different, it's all their fault. And that kind of thinking has led a lot of women and men to say they don't need a man in their life, or men going on their own kind of crap. You know, it's stupid. Like, adults are ignoring their natural animalistic instincts because people are being assholes to each other. You take 4 groups of people. 2 sets are male, 2 sets are female. One set of males is a royal asshole, the other set of females is a royal bitch. Then you got the people in the middle who are actually good for the dating scene, but they get overshadowed by the people who are ruining it. You see this all the time, you know, when some schmuck just got divorce papers from his wife, or when some bitch got her heart broken because, you know, she's mean to other men and she can't quite see it. Why they won't stick around, how it's all their fault. And sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes women just have bad luck with men. You know, and sometimes men have bad luck with women. That's the shitty part of dating. You know? Honestly, that's why I'm glad I'm single sometimes. It's like, watching everyone else's shit show of a relationship. Oh, this is golden. I want to grab a bag of popcorn and just watch the fireworks. That's about the truth of it. And really, when you think about it, if you have a lot of attractive qualities that the opposite sex would admire, and you have a hard time getting a girlfriend, that's their loss, really. All you can do is wait patiently. It's like getting better at guitar. I mean, you're not going to get good at it overnight. Oh, speaking of guitar. He pulls out the 6th string.
John doesn't like, and then John punches you in the face, and then you punch him back, and then I guess you kind of hug it out and go get a beer. You cross a woman, on the other hand, you never know when that attack is coming.
Oh, ain't that the truth? You piss a dude off. If 2 dudes piss each other off, the worst they'll do is they'll scrap it out, talk it out, throw a couple punches, then they'll get over it, have a beer, it's done. You piss a woman off, 1, you never know when that attack is coming. 2, you don't know what the fuck she's gonna do. Slash your tires, key your car. And 3, even after she's extracted her revenge, she's still gonna be pissed at you about it 4 years later. 4 years later, she'll still be pissed at you for it. That's another thing too, ladies. If you learn to just let shit go, like, I know women have a bad habit of doing this. You call me sexist, but it's the truth. You piss a woman off, you're never going to hear the end of it. Holding on to that much aggression and that much anger towards something that happened several years ago, you'd find that being a woman would be so much easier if you didn't do shit like that. I've seen men do it too, to be fair, but I'm just saying. Now, I got a pickup line, and if I was at a bar having drinks and I seen a cute chick that I wanted to buy drinks for, I'd be like, hey, you like guitar players? I'd rock your world, and flex the biceps a little bit. Don't you just love the sound of an electric guitar? It's a most wonderful instrument.
It's terrifying because we're basically demonic assassins. The point is, the bullying, the aggressiveness, the competitiveness, It's textbook toxicity, and it's why we hear so often about young people killing themselves after relentless female bullying. But forced social isolation and nastiness 100% extends into adult life, and I can say that definitively as a female. Woo, being a female. Funnily enough, these traits in women have actually been explained away as a reaction to the patriarchy rather than something biological.
Yeah, because rather than acknowledge that humans have this biological need, obsession with drama, and just to be an asshole to each other, it's about dominance and competitiveness, rather than acknowledge it as, oh hey, it might be something other than political issues. No, it's all about, wow. That was just sloppy. There we go. And with this tuning right here, man, dude. Half of it's not quite standard, so you gotta kind of work around it, I guess. But it's we could go drop D. Off key, hold up. fucked up on Beethoven there, YouTube. Whoops. Way to mess up on the Star-Spangled Banner. Fuck my OCD. Now I gotta do it right. There we go, that's sounding much better. Play ball. Yeah. Damn. Alright, I should play a little bit of guitar, but that's enough guitar for the video, yeah. Here we. But back to what she was saying here on her video, yes?
Because, of course, it's caused by the patriarchy. Anyway, I guess when women aren't emotionally bludgeoning each other, they're doing it to everyone else. And this brings us to the emotional and psychological abusiveness of women. A major criticism of men and their masculinity is not only their inability to feel their emotions, but also to share and verbalize them. It's apparently what leads to other toxic behaviors such as violence and suicide. But what about if somebody starts using emotionalness as a weapon? In intimate relationships, there is mounting data that says that women are incredibly psychologically and verbally abusive. Author Kimberly Taylor interviewed women who were the sole abusers in their relationship. What she found was this group was much more likely to use non-physical tactics, such as emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse. A lot of the times, it was about manipulation, control, using the children against the partner, or threatening to take the children away. Gee whiz, that kind of sounds familiar. We actually see this play out all the time, not only in the justice system, but also in family court. We know that women will manipulate the system in order to get ahead, as well as use their children and other measures as a means of control when it comes to their ex-partners.
Wait, women manipulating the system to get ahead. No, they don't do that at all. You know, exactly my point is men will do things that they have to their advantage too. Like there are things that men get away with that women can't do, and vice versa. You know, you'll see women manipulate the system. They'll steal your kids, your car, all your clothes except the ones on your back, your house, your dog. I mean, the amount of country songs we've heard about dudes having shit taken from them. And unfortunately, men just don't have that kind of power in our society. You know, so I got mad respect for women because of that, dude. I'm just like, damn, bro. You can literally grab a dude by his nuts, rip him off, and feed it to him, and he can't do shit about it. That's... Ooh.
That, my friends, is super toxic behavior. And while I can say that there is a ton of research out there about women being controlling, because like I said before, it predominantly doesn't exist, I did find data...
Women being controlling. No, see, that's just it. Is people out there can be controlling. But an example of women being controlling, she finds a guy she likes, but he's not perfect. You know, maybe he smokes, maybe he drinks on Friday nights. And she doesn't like it, the smell of tobacco, ooh, you know. So she tries to change his little quirks, you know, his little quirks. And it's like, yeah, but if a guy tried to change her, she would say she's perfect the way she is. Real talk, though, instead of trying to make Mr. Perfect, why don't you just go find him, ladies? He does exist. Oh, yes. Just haven't found him yet. It's like, and then when the guy goes, you know what, I'm sick of her trying to change me. I'm comfortable with who I am as a person. I treated her right. I respected her. The whole 9 yards, blah, blah, blah. But, nah, she just didn't like those little quirks about me, you know. And then she'll sit there and go, why do all these men not like, you know, she'll go off on, she will, you know. Women will go off about why men don't like them. It's like, well, because you're trying to change them. So you can brag to your friends this little pissing contest at your vaginas that you have. Of, look what I made. The kind of fucking man you want to show off to your chick that... to your chick friends that you're just like, hey, look what I did. Yeah, I know how that goes, ladies. Guys do the same shit. Believe me, we do. Only for us, it's like, for us guys, it's like, bro, see that over there? That chick getting ice cream? Yeah, that's my girlfriend. Damn, no, bro, I don't believe that, dude. She is way fucking hot, dude. She is way the fuck out of your league. I don't believe it. Oh, yeah, bro, watch this. Hey, honey, what up? Mwah. Bro, congrats. For guys, it's how hot is she. For girls, it's how big's his dick and how fat's his wallet. But I'm here to tell both genders that that shit really just doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Yeah.
From 2013 that says that women are more likely than men to be classed as intimate terrorists and displayed aggression at a much higher rate than their male counterparts. I don't know why people think that women don't get aggressive anyway.
Well, I can't imagine women getting aggressive. I mean, by this point, if you try to understand the psychology of a woman's world, you see that, okay, her body's doing weird things that she can't control, bleeding and cramping and hurting and bloating and all this other crap. And then you get other women who pick her apart because her life's a little bit better. but she worked harder for it, so she's earned it. And then you got the men she's trying to compete with, because it's a sexist world we live in, I tell you what. Along with the other women that try to seduce her man. All these women trying to, you know, there's so many factors going into this. And a good third of those factors could be avoided if women were just nicer to each other. That's how I see it, YouTube.
Everyone has a mum. We all know that if you push the right buttons, she'll scream at you. Seriously, making your mum mad is like a way worse version of the Hunger Games. The thing is, it seems that femininity has a natural tendency towards nurturing, but even this can become corrupted. Overbearing mothers are just as detrimental to children as absent or aggressive fathers. Too much nurture, for example, like helicopter mums, can result in children feeling less satisfied with family life and having lower levels of psychological well-being.
Hello?
Are you having trouble with the phone?
No, I had it on vibrate.
You should take it off vibrate.
And actually, weird side note, when I was researching mothers being controlling and overbearing emotionally, I found a UK report that says that 71% of children reported being abused by only their mother. So there's a weird little tidbit for ya. Although I will note that it is unclear whether or not these statistics came from children in dual-parent households or single-parent households. So, yeah. There's that. So in the end, in my 20-something years as a female, something that I've come to really dislike is the victimhood mentality that so many women have adopted. And this is just my opinion and my observations. It's not backed up by science, so don't yell at me. I see this kind of behavior in women all the time, where they blame sexism or the patriarchy and use it as an excuse to defend and excuse their terrible behavior.
Yep, I know exactly what Sydney Watson, a female, is talking about. A woman on YouTube telling it like it is. Could you imagine if a man had said that women use sexism and the patriarchy to excuse their shitty behavior, to excuse them treating men and other women like crap? Oh, he would get called a sexist, he would. You want to have a fun drinking game? Get a big-ass bottle of vodka. And every time you hear the word sexist or sexism in this video, take a shot. I guarantee you by the end of this video, you'll be really drunk.
They think being overly emotional and acting irrationally and erratically is somehow a sign of power, and the rest of society seems to think that this behavior is absolutely perfectly fine and justifiable. They think that being psychologically and emotionally abusive towards men in particular is perfectly fine because the man is bigger and stronger and can handle it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why when it comes to domestic violence and sexual assaults, this is why men never get taken seriously in these issues, because men are told and taught by society growing up to just put up with it, to just deal with it. Real talk though, ladies, if you had a situation that was incredibly sexist towards women and it actually violated your rights as a female, and someone told you, how is it sexism if your gender does it? Or if it happens to your gender, or, you know, kind of thing, what I'm saying? How would you feel if someone said that? Like, how is it sexist if it only happens to women? Now, that has never been said, it's unheard of, but could you imagine that? Wouldn't that get annoying after a while, having your whole gender persecuted because of the assholes? Oh, wait. That's a similarity that women and men share with each other, is that the assholes on both sides ruin it for the people in the middle. How long is this goddamn video? This video is like 13 minutes long and 40 seconds, and I got carried away playing guitar. That's alright.
But when that same man falls apart, they take absolutely no responsibility for their part in it. I don't get it. Toxic femininity, at least to me, is exemplified through women who play the gender card.
Exactly. Like, women will expect men to be tough, emotionless, and say absolutely nothing, just Mr. Strong, silent type. But when she plays a part along with society and other people in breaking him, she then backs off and says, well, what did I do? And then plays the gender card. I'm just a, you know, exactly, it's horseshit.
Who use their sex to excuse their jealousy, their manipulativeness, their vindictiveness, their bitchiness, and so on and so forth. And weirdly enough, we sit back and laugh when women freak out and go off the wall absolutely insane, but we would never tolerate that same behavior from men without calling it out. So why do we let it fly when it comes to women? There's an argument growing in society that we've become toxically empathetic, where we care more about feelings than facts, where we use feminine traits to criticize masculine ones. There's so much feminine...
That's the truth. That is the goddamn truth. People are more worried about their feelings getting hurt than the facts being told. Snowflakes. And using feminine ideology to ridicule and, you know, basically talk smack against masculine traits. So basically men are getting blamed for everything, to summarize it. I mean, could you imagine what that's like, ladies? Having your gender blamed for everything? I mean, that's just some real talk for a second.
An influence in everything today, and we never really take time to sit down and think about how that might be affecting society as a whole. Personally, I don't really believe that femininity or masculinity are inherently toxic in and of themselves. I do just believe that there are toxic people out there who do toxic things. Personal responsibility and individualism is a thing, but it is intellectually lazy to suggest that women don't behave badly, and that some of them don't have innate characteristics that are negative overall. Because the fact of the matter is, if we're prepared to call it out on one side, then we should be prepared to not only recognize it, but call it out on the other. Now, before I open the floor to you, this is just a reminder that you can download Surfshark VPN using the link in the description box. When you use promo code Sydney, you get 83% off and an additional month free. Now, I open the floor to you. What do you all think? Is this entire topic just kind of ridiculous and a tit for tat? Does toxic masculinity exist? Does toxic femininity exist? And if so, what does that look like in your opinion? As always, if you like the video, hit subscribe and the thumbs up button. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. Just be respectful about it. And I will see you guys next time. I mean, if you want proof of toxic fem...
Alright, so here's my take on that, YouTube. I don't think there is toxic masculinity. I don't think there's toxic femininity. I think there's just toxic male behavior, toxic female behavior. Just toxic people behavior, let's call it that. Because quite frankly, I get so tired of things being gender washed. Where eating meat is linked to toxic masculinity because men and their steaks. Which is so fucking sexist because women like steaks too. I'm serious. Valentine's Day, you see couples eating at Texas Roadhouse, Outback Steakhouse, Applebee's. I'm just saying. You know, the idea that, oh, men and their steaks and their burgers, like, what is that? Last time I checked, steaks and burgers and ribs and hot dogs and roast beef, ham, turkey, chicken, pork, bacon, were enjoyed by a variety of people, not just men. You know, the idea that men are the only ones that eat meat is so one-sided and judgmental and sexist. It's like, okay, dear vegans, you're welcome. Those cows were eating your food, so we killed the cows and now we're going to eat them and turn them into burgers. Yeah. Oddly enough, I turned hers was like, Sydney Watson's was like a 13-minute video, and this turned into like an hour-plus long video, which, yeah, I got carried away playing the guitar in the video, but who cares? That's what's going to make it entertaining, like, oh, watching Cobra play guitar, this will be a laugh. Oh, holy crap. Since when can you play like that? As always, if you like the woke and insightful rants, it would be greatly appreciated if you subscribed for more. Also, check out Sydney Watson's channel. I dropped my pipe tool. Shit. Okay, there we go. Yeah. These videos for me are always fun because Sydney Watson makes a couple of good points, but the one time I didn't agree with her is when she said women have it harder. But at the beginning of the video, she talks about how women are taken more seriously when it comes to issues like rape and domestic violence. But I'm like, you kind of contradicted yourself on that one. Not being mean about it, just telling it like it is. I get a kick out of it, really. It's like I said, YouTube, to stifle yawn, it's getting later in the evening. But no, it's like I said, freaking, yeah, dude, both genders put up with a lot of crap. You know what I'm saying? Sitting here comparing sob stories on which gender has it better, which gender has it worse. You sit in there and, well, you women can do this and we can't do that. Well, you men, and then, you know, that's just an argument nobody wants to have and no one's going to win. Because you'll be up for days with the comparisons, repeating yourselves. It's just one of those arguments that you're just like, what's the point? Because both genders, both men and women, go through crap in our society. Both men and women are held to double standards that affect the opposite sex as well. Any sort of negative double standard that affects women is going to affect men. Which, case in point, women are held to a higher beauty standard, which causes them to be catty towards each other. And then, you know, in turn, they'll tell men looks are not everything, but, and they're right when people say that. They're half of it. Half of it. When it comes to relationships, it's half of it. If, excuse me, if your partner's good looks are a bonus, they're easy to talk to, you found yourself a good dating partner. You look across the room, you'll look across the room you look across the room at a party, like, damn, and you see your other half just chilling on the other side talking with some friends. And you think to yourself, damn, that's mine. Fuck yeah. So we got like a little bit of dating advice in with the video. We got a nice little juicy rant to go with it, and a video response, and as well as some wicked guitar licks. Yep. Anyways, YouTube. Oh, this video is freaking almost 2 hours long. That is ridiculous. Well, we'll try to upload this video, and if it doesn't upload, then I'll try it again later on. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.